Ah, hello. Yawn, yawn, yawn. How are you all doing? Thumbs down. Frog? What the fuck? Now a wave. Okay, that's better. Hey, you can do like emojis. I can see. So, how are you guys doing? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Let's see. Okay, got a good mixture. Lots of thumbs up. And some thumbs down, some thumbs up, some laughing emojis, some 100, some hearts. Lots of thumbs up. Good. Good. Me too. Finally home with Patches. Well, I guess not this right this second because Patches isn't here right now. Well, she's here. She's not in my office, and that's where I am. But with her at last. Playing Zelda. Oh yeah, I heard there's a new Zelda game. I kind of want to play it, but I don't know. I don't have the time right now. But maybe later on I will. It looks really cool. Screw you, I was sleeping. Screw you, okay? I'm on weird sleep schedules. So I'll do the space when I want. You just woke up. Good morning. Did you see the FNAF trailer? I did. It looks cool. Why'd you do a space now? I'm going to school soon. Okay, maybe I won't be doing the space anymore soon. You ever think about that? Maybe it's perfect. You're at school. Oh, well, my space is better than school, clearly. You're trying to get ready for classes and now you're so distracted. Then just look, leave me on in the background. You don't have to tweet. Just set down your phone, do what you need to do, and I will be here. Will you be watching the FNAF movie then? I'm sure I will. Will this be a long space? No. It won't. Are you back home? Yay. Oh, oops. Are you back home? Yes. I don't know why I said yay. Yes. It doesn't hit the same. Yay. Yay. Yes, I am. How was your time in Cali? It was good, productive. Every time I've been to Cali, it's been very productive. I've literally just nonstop every day been working from uh, Monday to Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday been chilling, doing some partying, having fun. Otherwise, literally just been working, done so much, recorded, did a lot of stuff, which is very cool. So I feel so productive every time I'm in California because I'm always just doing stuff. Whereas I'm home, I'm not doing as much, but I'm still doing a lot. Last time I was home, I was so productive, and then this time I just got home and chilling for a day, and then I'm gonna get back to work. Duh. Are we gonna get any teasers before? Yeah, you will be teased sufficiently. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. It's bad that I'm listening to you while teaching my student about the clock. That's absurd. You're listening, you're like tutoring someone or something. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, you're in class or something, instead you're like tutoring someone. That's crazy. What's the story with this straw hat? So it's so funny. I'll tell this. I'll tell this. Look, I'll tell the story another time. We'll tell this. I'll tell the story in like a better setting, like on a podcast or something. That'll be better. It was very funny though. I feel evil doing that. I feel evil. There was another scorpion in the house. If that answered your question about other wild animals. Do you think Dream Team are going to do more IRL streams? Yeah, George got the streaming backpack, so he was waiting for that for a while, and now obviously he's used it twice, and I'm sure he'll use it a bunch more because it solves his like biggest thing with streaming. He's able to just go live and talk to you guys enough, and he doesn't have to really have something to do. He can just kind of go do something. He can just go, do whatever and stream it. Are you good at pool, or is it just for the photos? I mean, I'm not good, but I am undefeated in like whatever. Technically, I've only pulled like 5 times, but like I've gotten lucky. And I did a best out of 3. That time against Parker and his buddy, and I won 2, and they won 1, and It was one of the ones I won. They knocked the black ball in the wrong hole and also the white ball in on the final shot. So they kind of, were going to win, but I had no balls left, so it was close. I had no balls left. I had no pool balls left. Sure, you plan to edit your videos now that you're home, right? Yeah, I do. That's the first thing on my list to do now that I am home. Are you happy you're finally home? Yes, I am. I'm excited for everything. What stuff are you gonna work on now that you're home? Videos, YouTube videos. Record a bunch. Already have some recorded. And gonna edit. I saw people saying, because I tweeted out saying like, "Oh, we have this many videos," and people were like, "Didn't you say that you're not gonna say this stuff or whatever?" It's like, no, that's not what I said. I said I wasn't gonna give specifics before there was like anything confirmed. Otherwise, it just leads to disappointment. Me saying like, "Hey guys, we have a bunch of videos recorded," is just like, hey, there's content coming, which has never been the case. Like we've never ever sat on like more than one video before. Like we are almost always just like going, and like I think the most videos I've ever had at once is two, and it was like for a day or something, and then I just had the next one out, and it was like we're just constantly like moving. So the fact that we're each sitting on multiple videos is just crazy. Like we haven't, obviously they're not out, but it is we've been very 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 productive. It's just that it's just there's not as much to show for it right this second because of the fact that it's not out, but we have been working on a lot of stuff. Obviously there's tons of stuff going on, so yeah, we even filmed a video when we were in LA as well. We filmed a lot of stuff, and we are filming more as well, so lots of YouTube videos on the drawing board. Are you gonna have to go back to LA again soon? Well, I am, because VidCon's coming up, and so I'm gonna go back, but just before VidCon, and then VidCon, obviously. Can you tell us what the Wordle last tweet meant? That's for you to figure out. It's not for me to figure out. I guess you'll know soon. Is your new tweet music related? Yes, it is. It is music related. You're a detective. Please tell me George isn't retiring. George isn't retiring. Senate said you gave his unicorn away. Yeah, but because this is what happened. We were leaving like the Airbnb we were in, and there were like we didn't have room for all our stuff. So, like there was some stuff that was left, and like the unicorn was left, and like I was like on the way out, and I was like, you're not taking it. He's like no, and I was like okay. And I just grabbed it, and so I had like my two backpacks, my two massive suitcases, and then I was just holding this unicorn. Um, and I was like planning, I was like I'm just gonna give it away in like the airport. I already said that, and then I was like carrying it around in the airport, and I realized like, oh, it's kind of comfortable. I'm just gonna like keep it. And so I like took it all the way through the airport, all the way through security, all the way onto the plane, and then I used it as like a pillow on the plane to sleep. And George was like jealous about it because he was like, yeah, I realized how like cracked it was because I just like slept the whole flight. And then we landed, and then I was on the way out, and there was a bunch. We talked to a bunch of like fans and stuff before. And someone came up to George on the plane and was like, I've seen you in an edit. I don't know who you are, but I've seen thirst trapped edits of him, and it was literally just that. She didn't know who he was, like what he did, but she just apparently, but she knew the edit unless she was lying. But yeah, so she took a photo with him. But anyway, and then I saw there was I was it was like literally we were literally on the way out of the airport. We were at baggage claim picking up my bags, and uh someone came up to us and asked for a picture, and I said yeah. And then after we took a picture, I was like, "Do you want this?" And they were like, "Yeah." Do you not want it? And I was like, "Yeah, you can have it. We got it at the pier," and they had it. So I did give away his thing, but also he was gonna just leave it in the Airbnb. So I saved its life. I saved. I saved. I saved its life. What happened with the Sapnap luggage dog sending drug situation? Oh yeah, well, it wasn't just Sapnap. So I got my bag before Sapnap. We were like waiting forever. I got my bag at the airport before Sapnap did, and I like go to leave because we were like taking different rides, and so I go to like leave, and then like this big guy steps in front of me. I was like getting close to the door, and he's like, "I'm with Homeland Security. I'm with Homeland Security. I need to check your bag." He like showed his badge, and I was like, what? You need to check my bag? Why? And then he's like, yeah, our dogs like hit on it, so I need to go through it. Um, and I was like, can I see more identification? And then two other guys like came from the left and right, and they were like massive guys and like showed their badges as well, and we're like, yeah, we're with Homeland Security. And I was like, okay, like yeah, we're gonna go through your bag. And I was like, okay, I guess. And they're like, do you have any drugs? And I was like, no, I don't have any drugs. And they were like, well, our dogs hit on your bag. Um, it could be false, whatever. We have to go through it. And we're looking for drugs. You never done any drugs. You never had any weed. And I was like, no, I've literally never even done drugs like in my entire life. And then the guy was like, he's like, "Oh, never done drugs, have you? Oh, good for you, good for you." And he's like going through my stuff, and then he like opens his bag, and I'm like, "That's like my dirty laundry, just so you know." And he's like, "Okay," and he's like literally like just going through my dirty laundry. Um, and then he was they like were going through my bag, blah blah, and then they said like they were like Nick and George came up, and George was like, what happened?" And I was like, what's happening?" And I was like, "I guess they found my drugs." And they both started laughing. And I don't think the homeless security guys didn't find it that funny, but it was funny. And then and then like they didn't find anything, and they started zipping my bag back up, and I was like, "So why would that happen?" And they said, and then Nick was like, "Is my bag too? Because like my bag's not out yet." And they're like, "Yeah, probably." And he said they found like hundreds of pounds of weed in like other bags on the flight or something. Some people were like trying to smuggle weed into Florida or something. And so they like hit on apparently our bags probably just got like some residual like weed smell or something on them. Um, but yeah, so that is what happened. But I was like, I legitimately was worried, even though I've never done any drugs, and I definitely didn't have any drugs. I was kind of worried. I was like, what if there's drugs in my bag? Like, what if there's somehow drugs? Like, I don't know how there would be drugs, but what if there's drugs? I don't know what I'm gonna say. I'm like, I just would be like, "That's not mine," and I'd have to like lie. But um, but yeah, it was funny. I love it. We need to stop joking in these scary situations, like with the Airbnb. It's funny as hell, but you scare me. The Airbnb was not scary. Like it just wasn't. Like I'm of the same mindset of Sapnap, where like people someone can just like kill you for any reason, or just or like screw with you for any reason. So you shouldn't just fuck with random people. Like I'm like the type of guy on the road. Like I just will not honk my horn unless like absolutely have to. I won't like ever do any road rage or anything because I just know people can just like be pissed and just kill you. Like so I just never will like fuck somebody. Um, the part that Sapnap got wrong of the story that kind of flipped it a bit was we were planning on leaving. We were never planning on staying. Like we were literally planning on leaving. We were actively looking for a place the entire time while we were fucking with the person. It's like the only reason we were fucking with them is because we knew we were leaving. Like we never planned on staying the night. Airbnb said we could stay, but we all agreed. We were like, fuck that. We're not gonna stay in this house. Like unless the person's like even if the person was saying it's fine, we got like a refund. Like we're not gonna stay here. Like something bad could happen. So we were leaving. We were just like we just didn't have a place to go yet, and so we were just staying in the Airbnb until we found a place to go. And when they were like asking us to leave, it was literally like 2 a.m. in the morning, and I was like, we're not gonna just go. Where are we gonna Uber? We're just gonna go Uber somewhere. We're gonna go stand outside. I was like, fuck that. They're not gonna do anything, and if they are, we'll be gone before they even do. So like we're just gonna stay in this house until then. And like I was instigating at first, but then I stopped. Like and whenever they were saying the thing, and then I started again as soon as we left. And like I wasn't even instigating that badly. I was just saying, "Oh, Airbnb support said we could stay. Like, we're just gonna stay until we find a place." And they're like, "No, get out now." And I'm like, "Well, we're on the phone with Airbnb. We're trying to work it out. We'll be out as soon as we can." Like, literally, that sounds ridiculous. That's like what I was saying. It's like I was instigating at first, and then I stopped and was just being like kind of very passive, like what George said. He said like passive aggressive. I was being like so passively aggressive. Like it was so like barely I was like hardly even being whatever. Um, and then as soon as we left, though, I was like full meme, and I was like, no, we're staying here all night. Like the police said we could stay. And we were like gone already. It's like it was funny at that point. Um, but but yeah, like it wasn't the Airbnb wasn't uh it wasn't as whatever as Nick like Nick made it out to be that we were like I was saying no we're gonna stay the night like I wasn't saying we weren't saying that me and George we were saying we were gonna leave we were just figuring out like what we were doing first we didn't want to leave before we knew like what we were supposed to do um but it was very funny. Was George telling you what to text people? No, he wasn't, but he was egging me on, and he was agreeing that it was funny, and we were like memeing we were like trolling them. So um So it was just like funny. I'm just looking. I'm trying to find like the exact messages. Maybe I'll read them. And then the Airbnb gave me a false review on my profile. They like lied about. They said we did stuff we didn't do. They said we like did stuff to the property or something. And I was like, they're just lying. They left it on my profile. So like this is. I'm just gonna read the conversation. I'm gonna read it. So like Airbnb, just for the context. Actually, should I just like tell this story? You know what? I'm gonna be inclusive, guys. You guys enjoyed your like little subscriber only space. It was 30 minutes. That's good. I'm gonna move to a bigger space. I'm gonna do a space on my private, I think. So I'll see you there. Bye bye. Love you guys. Bye bye bye. See you in like literally a minute on the other play, and I'll finish. I'll tell the story over there, and then it's not gonna be too long of a space anyway. But love you guys. Bye. Hello. Sorry, I was in if in case you guys didn't know, I was doing a subscriber only space on my other Twitter, and then I was like, you know what? I was telling a story that would be good to tell to more people. And so I was like, fine, I'll go on my private now. And now even more people can hear me talk because they like listening to my voice for some odd reason. Anyway, so what I was saying is I was saying I was just talking about the Airbnb story. So yeah, those you probably heard the Airbnb story that was told on Banter that George and Nick showed. Or George and Nick told. So first things first, here's the full extent of the story. First things first, we were never planning on staying the whole night. That was the one thing that was like pretty much the biggest thing they got wrong with the whole story. Like we all collectively decided as soon as we got into the Airbnb, we weren't going to stay there that night. um and we were like, okay, we're gonna leave, we're just gonna figure out where we're going first. So that adds context. If we were never planning on sleeping there, like that would be ridiculous. No matter, like, they told us to get out of the house, like even if we did have a right to stay there, that would just be stupid. Like there's someone that knows the house and like the house code and whatever could come and show up, and like even if they weren't gonna like kill us or something, that's just they could just like they could just show up, and that could turn into something or whatever. So it wasn't like that. That's like the biggest detail that they got wrong. Like we all collectively agreed we're leaving here. We just need to find a place to go. But it was 2 a.m. So we were like trying to figure out where to go. It's the middle of the night, and we're like getting kicked out of this Airbnb, and we're like, where do we go? Like we need to get a hotel, but there was hotels. We wanted to like stay together, but there was no hotels with like conjoined rooms or anything. So we were working out like what we were gonna do. Airbnb support was being like unresponsive. They were being responsive at first, and they were like telling us they're gonna book us another place, and then they weren't. They never booked us another place at first. So it became like a thing, I guess. And so like we were just like waiting for it. And so I was like, they were like trying to kick us out, and I was like, okay, well, we're not gonna leave until. I wasn't telling them this, but I was like, it was George and Nick. I was like, well, we should just find out where we're going, and then as soon as we know where we're going, we'll just leave. And so anyway, I'm gonna read the messages. I was very, very like trolly and like passive aggressive to this person, and they were very like whatever back at the same time. So yeah, I'm gonna read the messages bar for bar, bar for bar. So they like sent another property. After basically they already refunded us. Like I reached out to Airbnb. We didn't know they were going to refund it. I didn't even ask for a refund. I literally just sent in a request. I just sent in like a complaint and said like, hey, here's pictures of the Airbnb. It doesn't look like how it looks on the site. Like, I need help. And then instantly they refunded it, like instantly. And so it was like the middle of the night, we got refunded. And I started getting a message from the owner of the Airbnb saying like, hey, you refunded the thing. What happened? And I was like, well, I didn't. It was like Airbnb support. I don't know what's happening. Um, but anyway, they sent a link, and I said, we're looking for somewhere more modern. And then they replied, by the way, did you have any issues with the check-in today, or was it just the carpet and armchair old stains? And I replied, this place looked much cleaner and more modern and less old than it was. And they replied, did you check the descriptions and photos before you booked? It's all mentioned there. And I said, yes, obviously, the stains and grossness wasn't apparent. They replied, uh, it's an old house. It's mentioned, and it's also mentioned that there's carpets all over. I said, it's also mentioned to take your shoes off to avoid ruining the nice carpet, which is covered in stains. Haha. And then they replied, okay, since you're in a mood for trash on the place, we're not going to continue this talk. This was at 3:16 a.m. And then at 3:23 a.m., they said, are you guys checked out already? And I replied, I said, I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to be rude, exclamation point. It just didn't meet our expectations. We're waiting on Airbnb support. Um, uh, and they said, and at this point, Airbnb told us, hey, you guys can stay the night. We'll get you a place tomorrow morning. And me and Nick and George were like, no, like we'll just go to a hotel or something. It's like we're like actively looking for like a hotel to go to in the area, like while these messages are taking place. They said, as far as I know, you guys asked to check in early today, and we allowed it. So technically, it's been a day now, which is just like that's just like not how time works. That doesn't even make sense. Like we asked for early check-in to drop off our bags because like George and Nick flew in that day, and like I was already in a different Airbnb because I was there before them. And so like they like we asked for early check-in, they like allowed us to check in at like 2 hours earlier or whatever. And then Airbnb, because they only refunded everything but one day or whatever, we got like a full refund except for the one day, um or whatever. Then like they were saying, well, it's already been a day, so because you checked in early, so you have to leave. It's like, what? That does not make any sense. Anyway, but I replied, I said, I'm just waiting to hear from Airbnb support and then we'll be out of your hair. Thumbs up. Although we checked in at around 1 and it definitely hasn't been a day, with like a face that like a confused face. It's like that is like that message. Okay, it's like barely passive aggressive. This word for word. Just waiting to hear from Airbnb support and then we will be out of your hair. Thumbs up. Although we checked in at around 1 and it definitely hasn't been a day, with like a little confused like eyebrow raise or something like. Anyway, it's like it's like so smally passively aggressive. But they replied, you need to leave now. And then I replied, we have the place booked contractually through Airbnb through tonight, according to support. Although we do plan on leaving after Airbnb sorts it out, and they said 15 minutes or so last time they called. Thank you, smiley face. It's like at this point, Airbnb is telling us we're sorting it out for you. You can stay the night, and we were telling Airbnb support, no, we're going to leave. We're going to get to a hotel or something, but Airbnb is trying to get us like a discount, and so we're still like working this out. And I was like, look, we're going to leave as soon as we work it out Airbnb support. They said 15 minutes. To me, very reasonable, right? Um, they replied, this has nothing to do with Airbnb now. It took you a few good hours to put your complaint about the carpets, from 1 p.m. till almost midnight. I replied, I actually didn't get there. I didn't get there until almost midnight after working all day, and just had my friends drop off my stuff. They also voiced their concerns about the mustiness of the property, but I said I'd wait to see it for myself. I appreciate the help working with Airbnb now. So that was very passive aggressive, but it was funny, and it pissed me off that they're like, it took you a good few hours with the complaint. It was like, yeah, I wasn't there. I didn't see them until fucking midnight. Congrats. And I didn't even mean to. They like were kicking us out in the middle of the night. Anyway, they replied, it's been over 2 hours since your reservation canceled, which is probably true. It's probably actually maybe it wasn't 2 hours. It's probably close to it though. Because like we had literally just gotten there, and then the reservation Airbnb Sport, and then it got canceled. And we were like trying to work it out. Um, um, on my way to sleep, I just checked the phone and found the new support message. I'm asking you to check out now, please, or I'll have to send someone over. I don't have any security now since there's no payment / records of you leaving. You're a group of people staying in a property without any permission right now. Airbnb are no longer part of this. Be out in the next 10 minutes. And then at this point, I think we were. Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, at this point we weren't out yet. But we left like 5 minutes after this. But I said we're currently waiting on Airbnb support and we're collecting our things as well. We probably won't be out in 10 minutes, but we'll be out as soon as we can. So like that again, that's fairly reasonable. Like obviously that's gonna make them upset regardless because like they're saying get out now and I'm saying well we're collecting our things, we'll be out like soon. But then it's not too unreasonable. And they said you need to leave now! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! And then I said, I'm currently on the phone with support, and they said they would reach out to you. And that was all I said. And they did. Because I was on the phone with support, and I was like, we're literally getting kicked out. Like, they're kicking us out. I was like, are you getting us? Because they were trying to get us a discount on a new Airbnb, and we have to like book the Airbnb before we would go there. And so I was like, they're literally like telling us to leave now. Are you giving us the thing or not? And then they said, oh, we'll reach out to the person to give you more time. And I was like, okay, cool, do that. That's fine. But anyway, so then we left, and they didn't reply to my message that said after support, because I think support did reach out to them and told them like, hey, chill, and they didn't reply. But then we left, and this is after we had already left, so we're no longer in the property at this point. And I was like, fuck this person. They tried, like, imagine we okay, this is the thing. Imagine we weren't who we were. Like, imagine we were not like well off. We didn't have like the money to be able to like go book a hotel at the last minute, like, and we weren't like, you know, connected, whatever. Like, we would have been fucked. Like, we were getting kicked out of the Airbnb at 2 a.m. in the morning with nowhere to go in a city we did not live in and had like only been to once or twice, that we didn't know, like, we wouldn't know where to go. Like, we would, if this would have been so fucked. If it wasn't like like us, it would have been so fucked. But anyway, so I was like, fuck this person. We're gonna troll them because we're at this point we're like in an Uber to the hotel. And so I messaged them. I say, the support said we could stay the night, but they booked a new place for us. It's a bit late, so we're working it all out. Um, and they said, you're not allowed to stay there. Please leave. I called the police. You need to leave the property. Um, uh, and then I replied. I said, I talked to the police. They reviewed the Airbnb policy, and they said we could stay the night, but we have another place. We'll head too soon. Thanks for being an understanding host. Again, we're not in the Airbnb. We've left the Airbnb. They don't know that, but we've left the Airbnb. They replied. They said, the police are on their way and have the house code. You have no proof of payment for your stay, and Airbnb has not reached out to confirm what you're saying. You're occupying property without permission. Leave now. At this point, I'm not an understanding host. Unfortunately for me, it's the first time I'm dealing with such a rude guest behavior and one-sided communication. Which doesn't make sense, but I can see you guys didn't move out yet, and you've been keeping me waiting for long hours. Really sorry you had issues, but you need to find solutions. And then I replied and said, we've never been trying to be rude. Unfortunately, the property didn't work out. The cops came to the door and we spoke with them, and we agreed that we will leave at 8 a.m. when our new Airbnb is available. They checked for damage, and there's nothing other than the previous stains that they noted. They checked the house and made sure that there was no one there but us. Hopefully this is a fair resolution. Going to try and get some shut-eye. They replied, I have I have cameras outside. The last report is from 11 p.m. The police called me to ask for a code a few minutes ago. It's not a matter of the house condition right now. If you noticed my first message to you, I offered you different property to move to. You're doing what you want inside my property. No matter how you flip it, you're trespassing. Which, first of all, they didn't even offer. They offered like us to pay for another place, and I was like, well, we're not paying for another place. Airbnb's moving us. But anyway, uh, then I replied and said, Airbnb said that it's okay for us to stay tonight, so no one's trespassing. We're just sleeping in the beds. And that's the end. That's the end of the saga. But then I left a bad review on them, and then they messaged me again after, like, this was like a week later or something, and they said, "Hey, I see you posted a review. To be really honest, I do not think we should review each other at all, since you were not really even a guest of mine. Your reservation was canceled. They already Airbnb already apologized and confirmed it was a mistake, and asked me to claim the night you stayed from you and to put a request from the app. I wasn't doing it so far. Our reviews and the property high score is more important to me at this point. I've replaced the armchairs, and the cleaning team did their best to remove what can be removed from the stains. Based on the very high score and the great reviews we have until now, it wasn't a serious issue, as you made it for any other guests. You have an option to ask Airbnb to remove your review. I think it's only fair for you to do so, since you weren't really a guest." It's like, how are we not a guest? Like, obviously, a review is valid. But anyway, let me go to theirs. I want to read what they put on my thing, on my profile. I want to find their review. Show the reviews. They said, blank, that Clay is a disrespectful, rude guest that will do whatever he wants, regardless of any rules or policies. He checked into my property earlier than check-in time, waited 10 hours to call Airbnb so it was midnight, and complained about stains on the carpet. And then in parentheses, no guest ever complains about cleaning or stains. Like, what? Like, what do you mean no guest ever complains? Like, okay, congrats. That's stupid. The place was like a mess, and obviously, and they were like edited out of the photos. Anyway, um, They then decided to they got their reservation canceled and refunded. Then decided to stay and invited even more friends to stay the night. Like what? That's not. We didn't invite any more friends, and that's not even what happened. Um, uh, he refused to leave even when police arrived. That's the impression we gave them, but we did leave. Um, he caused us to spend $250 for cleaning the second time because he used all the beds and kitchen and messed up the house that night. Like, what? That's just bullshit. We didn't even do anything. We didn't even unpack our things, and neither did we. We didn't get in any of the beds. They were nasty. You think we were gonna get in those dumbass beds? Fuck you, you piece of shit. They were nasty. We didn't get in your beds. We didn't cause any cleaning. You know what? You probably needed $1,000 of cleaning. That place was fucking trash. You should spend more. $250. That's nothing. Okay, clean your shit. Get the nasty stains, fix it up. There was like boogers in all the fucking outlets. Like, clean your shit. You do. You know what? You know what? If we caused you to spend $250, good. Like, that's good. We didn't do anything. We like sat down on the couches and waited for 3 hours on a fucking Airbnb Sport. Anyway, sorry, they're just getting me heated. So they just lied. Their full complaint is not true, and we've never gotten a bad review for this property. We have a very high score that's now damaged. I've never experienced such guest behavior, so I definitely do not recommend Clay as a guest. Anyway, but yeah, that's the full Airbnb story. So there you go. There you have it. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that is what happened. So it was like, it's so funny. Like this, like I was like, me and George were like dying of laughter because like, yeah, like George took a photo as well. So like, like George told me before I showed up, he's like, yeah, the place is shit, and I was like, it's not. Like, I've shown you guys, so we've all seen the pictures. Like, it's good. And he's like, trust me, it's not. I show up, like, okay, honestly, guys, it wasn't that, like, I'm over it was not that bad. The problem was it was not what we expected. Like, the pictures were just photoshopped. Like, the pictures were photoshopped, like the wall colors, the like literally they like didn't show things. It's like we like especially if we're gonna stay there for like 3 weeks. Where we're saying one, we prefer like more modern looking places, and that place looked very modern before we went, and it wasn't modern. Two, we don't want to stay, like, there was like just stains on the carpet, stains on the couches, stains on all the, like, there were stains everywhere. Which is like, okay, I understand probably a lot of people wouldn't complain about that, or care as much. Like, obviously it's like a premium Airbnb, and it's like in a nice place in like LA, and we're gonna be there for 3 weeks and whatever. It's kind of like a vacation, in a way. And so, like, I still think people on average would probably complain. They'd be like, why are there fucking stains everywhere? But even then, I could see people not caring because they're like, hey, whatever. It's in LA, whatever. But anyway, but then also, in terms of the modernist, like, if you saw the pictures of all this stuff, it was like ridiculous. Like, the thermostat was ridiculous. Like, all the outlets like had like dirt like in them and like looked ridiculous. It looked like the house was like built in like, it was like a really old house, which again is fine. I'm sure most people don't care about that. But if you're not advertising as that, if you're advertising it as like more modern looking, and you're like photoshopping the pictures to look better, removing like cracks and holes in the wall, removing like stains, okay, just don't do that. Like, it's fine. If we had like seen it with all the stains and stuff, like, the odds are we just wouldn't have booked, and you never would have went through that. Um, but we took, anyways, like, George was like, we were like dying of laughter, and like, while they were like saying, like, it was just their reply, because originally they were like, well, didn't you see, like, we put everything in the descriptions. We said there was like carpets. I was like, yeah, and the description on the Airbnb literally said, please take your shoes off when you enter the house to not get the expensive carpets dirty. That's like word for word. And then the carpets just have stains all over them and like look disgusting. And we're like, okay, what do you mean? Did we read the description? Yeah, we did. It made it out to be like someone like ridiculously like high class, like, please take your shoes off. Um, but anyway, yeah, it's like, George took a picture, like, in Snapchat. I think it was like, I don't remember who it was to. It was like, I don't think he ever snapped it anyway, but he took a picture. It's literally just him in front of the thermostat doing a thumbs up, and it was like, I'm gonna change the temperature or something, and it was just so funny. And then he took another one, and it was like in front of the outlet, and it said like, I'm gonna plug my phone in, and it was just the outlet was like all broken. Like, and then I took a picture on the couch, and the caption was like, we're staying the night or something, and sent that to them. And then, like, I don't remember, George just kept taking like these series of pictures where he was like smiling next to like the stupid shit, like next to stuff that just like looked like gross. And it was just funny. It was funny. We were very much dying. Um, and then like I took a video that I sent to them as well. That was just like George like um it was like George had like one of the pillows. It was like shaped like a penis, and he was like, yeah, he was doing something with it that was very funny. And anyway, yeah, it was funny. I was like, it was so funny. I was like dying. And then as we were leaving, like in the Uber, the police like drove by, and we were like, we both like looked back and we're like, was that to ours? Oh my god! Like I wish we stayed. But anyway, that is pretty much what happened. So it was a funny experience. Um, duh, duh, duh. Context for this. That is a photo of me, and I'm wearing a suit jacket, and there is a link that you should click that is currently in the bio of this account, actually. A clickable link that you should attach your Apple Music or Spotify to for some reason. Uh, explain this, bro. That is a picture of a film set for a music video that may or may not be related to me. Could be, could not be. One or the other. My phone is dying so quickly. So quickly. All right, fine. I'm gonna plug it in. Anyway, yeah, lots of exciting stuff. Lots of exciting stuff to come. I've been busier than I've ever been in my life, for sure. I've done so much more in the last like 5 months than I've done the rest of my entire life. Like in so much stuff, so much stuff. And luckily for you guys, I have held back. Okay, look, I took one for the team. Okay, I always like prematurely announce things. I always prematurely say things, and with this, it's like really special to me. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to disappoint anyone. I don't want to say things when they're not, when like they're not confirmed, or say things whenever shit is not, close. And I know I always do that, and so I was like, I'm not going to do that, and so I didn't. And so I could have been talking about some of the stuff I've been doing for like literally the last year or more, but I haven't until now. A little bit now. I've done a little bit now, because there is exciting stuff happening, and I'm so excited to finally be able to share stuff with you soon. And you'll slowly start to see stuff that has been in the works for a very, very, very long time, which is so exciting. So I'm very excited. Excited is a music video. You in a suit. I need to know. I will. Yeah. And George and Nick. Ooh, spoilers. And also they have some behind the scenes stuff, which I'm sure they can post soon. I'm sure that as long as they don't spoil the premise of the video, they can post whatever they want, pretty much, of some stuff, which is really cool. But yeah, so much exciting stuff. I've spent literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not probably thousands of hours over the last like year, working on stuff that you guys literally have not even seen anything from. And so it's so exciting to finally be, where I want to be, getting to do what I want to do. So bro just refreshed Twitter. Yeah, I did. But yeah, so you might want to click the link in the bio. The 3,800 of you watching. And if you don't have an account on one of the platforms, then make one. Because trust me, you want to be one of the first. There might be an opportunity for the first people to partake in that action. That's really exciting. I'm so excited. This is the thing is, again, I feel like now I pretty much can say anything I want, but I'm not going to with some stuff, just 'cause I'm like, I've already waited this long. Might as well wait. Might as well, make you guys wait a little longer. But like I love writing. Like genuinely, this is one of those things where it's like with whatever, with YouTubers doing things outside of YouTube, with YouTubers doing things that isn't YouTube, or trying to use their platform to try and step into other realms. Like there's a big reason why I feel like that it generally doesn't it doesn't work, and it's generally because it takes a lot of passion. Like I'm so passionate about YouTube, which is why I was able to do YouTube so well, and social media and stuff in general. It's because like the passion behind it. And like with writing, like I have wanted to be an author. Like my dream job was being an author. Like that was my when I was a kid, I wanted to be an author. I wrote so much. I wrote two like 75,000 word novels. I wrote like tons of poems. I wrote tons of like short stories. I wrote self inserts. I wrote like between the ages of like 13 and 19, I wrote like literally probably millions of words of like creative writing for whatever, you know. And I've always that's been like my thing. And then even for like the Dream SMP, like okay, I've never really even talked about it. I've wrote so much of the Dream SMP, so much, so much. There's tons of shit no one had any idea that I have anything to do with. I wrote for so many characters. I wrote for so many people. I wrote for so many streams. So much of the story from the very beginning. Like I had fingerprints on, you know, and being able to like collaborate, especially with people on the GSMP was so much fun with writing stuff. Like especially Wilbur was fucking awesome to collaborate with. He's an incredible writer. Techno was a fucking incredible writer as well. He was amazing to collaborate with. Tommy as well. Surprisingly, I say surprisingly, but surprisingly because Tommy's just fucking talented at so much shit. But you know, collaborating with him on writing stuff as well was amazing. Obviously, a lot of other people as well. Um, Bad had some awesome stuff. I don't want to name too many names because it's like I'm missing people, um, but anyway, even for like YouTube, like so many of my early videos, like you'd think I didn't do much writing on YouTube. Think again. I did the Unsolved Mysteries. What is that? That's storytelling. The video from beginning to end. I had to write scripts. I had to story tell. And then same thing for like even my cursed Minecraft videos. I scripted out like exactly what was going to happen, like in terms of how I would do this and like what was I going to show and had to code and stuff. There's so much like storytelling, and that's been a big part of my thing. And so being able to tell stories and stuff is a massive, massive thing. I always wanted to do my entire life. And so being able to do that is amazing. And I kind of after the Dream SMP kind of was dwindling down more and stuff as well. I've had less of like a way to creatively express myself through writing. But then obviously with music, like I when I went in like with Road Trip, I didn't write much of Road Trip. I wrote the story, but in terms of like actually lyrically what goes into the song, it was like, hey, I went to Parker and I was like, hey, I want to make a song about this story. I want to make a song about, and this was genuinely what it was. It was like, hey, I had an ex girlfriend, and it was a long distance relationship for a while until it wasn't, and I had to drive 20 hours approximately. It wasn't quite 20 hours. That's a better rhyme, in order to see her. And then obviously things didn't go too well, whatever. And it was kind of like a I don't really miss you, but I miss the drive. I miss that road trip because I was like alone on the road and like I felt free, and it was like the anticipation of you're going to see somebody that you love, and like the music and being able to listen to music on the way, and like the stick my head out the window and the breeze, like whatever. And I thought that was a really good story, and being able to tell that being able to tell that in like a in a song was so cool. And so obviously in terms of the lyrics in the song, it was very much like I took that what I just said to Parker, said that exact thing pretty much to him, and was like, how can we make this into a song? I've never sang. I've literally never even sang in the shower. I don't have any experience singing. But I want to try. I'd love to try and tell the story creatively through music because it's not a story I would tell through not music, if that makes sense. Like it's not something that I would just go out and just talk about. It's like something that I'd be like, hey, I want to tell through music, and then maybe I'll talk about it afterwards or time has passed or whatever. But in the moment, it's not something that I would really talk about. And so being able to make music about it was cool. And so I went in. And then obviously there was Mask, and I never had any experience writing music. And I was like, I want to try and write like almost everything myself. And so that's what Mask was. Mask was like my first ever like actually like writing. Music. I don't know any of the rules, any of the laws. I don't know any. I've never had experience with actually putting stuff together. I tried to fit. It was more basic than a lot than what I would have wanted. Kind of going back now, because of the fact that I've never written before. I've never written music before. I've only written like poems and stuff. But that's like shorter form. But I've never written like music, And so I was like, I want to try and write everything myself pretty much. And so I wrote like 90% of that song or something. And then even came up with like the melody of um, uh, but the fact is, like, I came up with that melody, and so it was like I contributed a lot more to that song, and then I also sat there during the production, and blah blah blah, and whatever. And that was kind of my first step into like actually songwriting. And I had a lot of fun. Obviously, and then I did the song with Alec Benjamin, which was much more like mainstream in a way. Like it was like I got to work with like really really professional producers that had a lot of experience, and like there was like labels involved and stuff. So it was like I kind of got to actually get the music experience of like working in the music in the LA kind of music world. Um, but anyway, after those three songs, I kind of got a taste of it all, and I was like, you know what? Um, I actually really do enjoy making music, and I feel like it's an amazing way to tell stories, an amazing way to do things. And you'd think that, oh well, now it's been 2 years or whatever since, or almost 2 years since like my last song, and that that you wouldn't thought that I had that thought after that, but I did. My last thought after making that was like, I really like making music. I really like writing. I really like telling stories, and I want to do it right, and I want to actually try and do it. So I've kind of silently been I kind of took the same approach I took with YouTube. It's like I've been silently like learning, I guess. Like I've talked to tons. I've already talked to I don't want to say hundreds, but I've talked to tens and dozens of like of writers. I've talked to dozens of producers, dozens of like musicians and artists and singers and so on and so forth. And I've worked with, I've written for other people. Now I've written for myself, obviously, and stuff that's not out. And I've written for fun, just writing songs to get better and stuff. Um, you just learned so much about like about music in general. Especially writing, but also I've done some like vocal coaching and had a lot of stuff in terms of like singing and understanding how vocals work and how melodies work, and understanding like how how songs work in general, kind of, and which is like so dumb, but understanding like kind of how beats work, I guess, in a way makes you better at like a lot of things, like even like dancing or something, which sounds kind of stupid because I still suck at dancing. But at least I have like I have a better idea of like being able to dance or something because of the fact that I understand how it works. I don't know. But anyway, that all being said, I just love writing. I love writing, and I feel like you guys will be really excited to see like some of the stuff I've been working on, because it really it means a lot to me. And yeah, I'm excited for the future, and I'm excited to write. And I've been writing so much, uh, just for fun and for myself, and learning so much. And I love to, whenever I do something, I want to be good at it, and I want to be able to have fun with it while also being good and putting out good stuff. And so, um, yeah, I'm excited. And there's so much more. And this is a very like I'm in like a private space on my private account, so this is a very like whatever way to just talk about this, but it is exciting, and I'm excited to actually kind of officially be doing some cool stuff soon. And so I'll probably you know more officially talk about stuff like this soon on like a live stream or elsewhere as well, which will be cool. But yeah, in the coming I said there'll be a lot more talk like this in the like a week or so from now. Not because something's coming out, because nothing's coming out in a week, but something's coming out soon. But not that. Not what you're thinking, but you know, some cool stuff. But yeah, you should click the link in my bio, and you know, cool. Anyway, cool. Love you guys. I will see you soon. Really appreciate you guys, and can't wait to share with you guys um, what I've been up to, and um, everything that's been going on in my life and share with you my life. And yeah, like I said, I've been working myself harder than I ever have, and it's only gonna go. It's only gonna be more because next, like literally starting like very soon, I'm going to be so busy. I think my next break I'll have of anything will be at like the end of September. Like from like the end of this month, the very beginning of next month to the end of September, there will be so much content for you guys. It's you guys will not even like this is like I said, I've waited a while to say anything, but it will be crazy. It will actually be crazy. And I am so excited. And obviously my goals are different than like what's definitely gonna happen, but like what I know is definitely gonna happen is just like crazy. Like even just talking about like the events and stuff that are going on and videos and secret projects and like fucking just lots of stuff. So um I am so excited and you guys should be too. So um thank you guys for being awesome. Love you guys. Bye. I'm gonna wait because it doesn't know people ended yet. Bye.